So you clicked onto this video because you have a slight interest in Sorare at the moment and you don't quite know if you want to get into it because you looked into the page and you were like, this seems complicated. Let me tell you right now, guys, if you're a football fan out there that gets into Sorare, trust me, at first it's complicated, but once you're in, you are in. I'm not joking when I tell you this. It will infiltrate your life to a level where you'll be mid-deadlift, you'll get a notification and you'll be like, what's this? Your boy just scored. Life's good. Or you'll be stuck in traffic. Get a message of someone scoring and it will be a beautiful day all of a sudden. Or it will get to a point where you have a lineup that's running really well and you have just the last two pieces, the two players remaining in your five-a-side that need to perform well for you to get a big reward. Like this moment right here for me.
Paye about to take the penalty.
Yes! Come on! Dio! Dembele! Inside! Yes! Yes! Dembele! Look, I'm not proud of my fist pumps that might have just looked awkward there, but I'll tell you right now, that moment I will never forget because he was the last player, Moussa Dembele, playing for Olympique Lyon. I was hoping for him to score. If he did, I would be winning a top reward. I had a chance of finishing in the top 5 in the world of Sorare, and it worked out in that case for me. I can even remember right now, the moment when that happened, it was a goal that he scored where he looked slightly offside. So right after him scoring, I was like, please don't be offside. He wasn't. And then we got a reward. The moment we have waited for. Top 10 All-Star Rare Pro. Oh! Oh! This is actually fitting. What are the odds of me playing a song from Last Samurai on stream live? And it is a player from the Japanese league. So now that you know what kind of emotions you can go through and how Sorare might actually impact your life, if this is something that you are looking into as a football fan that wants to really intensify their footballing experience or their football viewing experience, this game is for you. Like, I am a FIFA YouTuber. This is not my main channel. This is just my hobby channel that I opened up because I got so passionate about this game and the community that is here. I'm telling you, the community that you have in Sorare is absolutely amazing. People love to help each other out with scouting players and going for the right matchups and all those things. But we'll talk about all that later on. Now, let's understand what is Sorare actually about and how does it work? So once you log into Sorare, you will be greeted by 3 major sports out there. We have football, we have NBA, and we have the MLB, which is baseball in America. And at this stage, you already realize that this is not just a gimmicky NFT gaming site. You realize that this is actually a company that has been able to pick up licensing to some of the biggest clubs and sports out there in the world of football. This has never been done before. So this makes the platform already something that you have to respect once you come into it and be like, okay, this is not just some project out there. This is the best project out there when it comes to gaming in the NFT or blockchain space. For me, it's all about football. I am a huge fan of football, but if you are into the likes of NBA and MLB as well, that is something you can get into as well. And it is very entertaining. For me personally, right now, we're going to be focusing on the football side of things. So let's do that. Most importantly, though, guys, here's one thing that you need to consider. And it's a very important thing for you and I as well. If you want to sign up to Sorare, use the link in the description down below. Don't just go into Google and type in Sorare and then get onto the homepage and sign up. Do it the way I'm about to tell you because you will actually benefit from it. And I will too, which I really, really do appreciate. But here's nothing negative on your side. It's just upside. So no worries about that. If you use the link in the description down below, after buying 5 players on the platform, if you're into it, which we will figure out by the end of this video, if you go ahead and buy 5 players on the auction market, you'll be given a free limited item. You do not get that if you sign up to Sorare without using anyone's affiliate link. So that is a very important thing to keep in mind. Make sure to click the link in the description down below, sign up for the page. Once you've signed up, you should go to settings. And if you go down right here, as my referrer, it should say my name, which is Johnny Sports. If that says it, that means you have successfully activated the chance of winning, not the chance, the guarantee of winning a limited item on the game once you buy your first 5 players off the auction market. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, how does this game work and how do I get into it and understand the gameplay of it to be able to be successful? I personally jumped into this game making tons of mistakes, so hopefully I'll be able to help you guys out with not making those mistakes as well. And as you can tell, by the way, in the background, Lionel Messi has just become an ambassador for Sorare as well, alongside players like Kylian Mbappe. And lads, that just puts, once again, Sorare on a level that other companies just aren't at when it comes to fantasy football. So let's jump into the gameplay itself. Right now, as we speak, as this video is uploaded, the World Cup is about to come. And that means you now have the perfect time to sign up for the game because the free-to-play side of things is incredible. You do not even have to spend money on the page here on this game, and you can still win incredible things, up to like getting to play a 5-a-side game in real life with Zinedine Zidane. Those incredible prices are up for grabs. Even up to 6 Ethereum can be won by people each week when it comes to the Global Cup that Sorare now has on its platform. So when it comes to how to get involved with the Global Cup, you have the option of getting involved right now. We still have 8 days, 23 hours up until the Global Cup first match day begins. You go to the upcoming section, then you will scroll down and click on Global Cup. I personally have already done my draft, but I'll do it again with you guys together. Now, the way this works is you have a budget of 100 gems or whatever they want to call it right here, of 100 of these blue things, blue diamonds, whatever you want to call it. And you are able to pick and choose players that you think will do well during the World Cup. Ideally, you want to have a team of 5 players that will do really well. So let's start off with my personal choices. I want Lionel Messi. I think he's going to win the World Cup. I want to have him up until the end, and he is going to be, most of the time, my captain when it comes to this World Cup tournament. But he will cost me 23 blue diamonds. So we will pick him. Then as my secondary, I want to go ahead and bring in a youngster from Germany. I want to go for Musiala because I think he'll do really well in the World Cup, and he will cost me 13 diamonds. Then going into the midfielders. For me, I have one specific player that I'm very excited about, and his name is Enzo Fernandez. I think Enzo Fernandez will do really well during this World Cup. I think he'll be a huge player for Argentina, and a lot of people might underestimate him. I think he is one of the best midfielders coming up in the game. He will cost me 12 of those blue diamonds, leaving me with 52. Now, obviously, you can't keep on getting these top players. Ideally, you want to go and get some of these lower rated ones as well into your club. Now, this one doesn't pop up the way I want it to. I'll go to Cameroon because I already know which player is costing me a very low amount, but still has a chance of being played. Now, for this one, I'm going to go with Kevin Nkudu, who is a Besiktas midfielder who plays for Cameroon's national team. He's going to cost me 6. Going into the defenders now, ideally, I want to have someone that is going to do really well in the group stages. I think Netherlands have great matchups, so I'm going to go with the likes of Virgil van Dijk. And then as the secondary option, I want to go and get myself a very low-scoring one that will ideally fit into my team very, very easily. Not the highest points, please. I want the lowest points. Come on. Are we not going to filter? Are we not? Okay, apparently we're not going to filter. That's cool. I'm going to go ahead and choose the player I wanted initially. It's going to be Saliba. William Saliba has a good chance of playing for France, but only costs me 10 points right here. Now, going on to the goalkeeper position, we have players that I personally need to pick on who I think is going to get the most clean sheets. I personally think Manuel Neuer has a really good chance of picking up a lot of clean sheets, but I don't know if Germany is going to get too far in the tournament. So far, I think it's going to be important for the group stages to pick and choose players that I think can do really well for us moving forward into the tournament. But most importantly, now I want to focus on the group stages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick someone like Pickford. I think he has a really good shot of doing well in this World Cup, and he will not be someone that most people pick as well. So Pickford is going to be my differential. I think England could do really well. And then ideally, I want to go ahead and get myself another goalkeeper that will only cost me like 6 points, who is going to be the backup goalkeeper, so to say. And when it comes to this case, I'll take Kosei Itani, who is Japan's backup goalkeeper, it seems. And that, my friends, will be my team. Then, once you have gone ahead and spent all your blue diamonds, you will confirm your draft. Once you have confirmed your draft, you will come onto the page that is the most important page on Sorare. That is putting your teams together. On the left-hand side, you will always be shown which players are available, which opponents they have, and what scores they have gotten in their previous games. Now, for me, I can see that Jordan Pickford, who is an Everton player, has gotten these types of scores. The scores go from 0 to 100 maximum for each player. I can see that Pickford has a 94 in him. That means he probably had a clean sheet in that game, which helped him to get a really good score. I think he's going to do really well against Iran. If someone like Taremi doesn't score a bunch of goals, I think he'll have that clean sheet, which will automatically take him above 60 points. And if he makes a couple of saves or even a penalty save, that will also add up onto his performance. Van Dijk, lately, Liverpool have been struggling, but I do think for the national team, he'll do really well. So I'm going to put him into the defense. Then for the midfield, I'm going to pick my hidden gem, so to say. Enzo Fernandez is my guy. Benfica's new beast that apparently could move to any team in the world. So we're going to sign him. And then we're going to put Lionel Messi. And as my extra, I can now go ahead and choose a player from any position. Now, as you guys were able to tell, I got to pick a goalkeeper, a defender, a midfielder, and a forward. That is how you build your Sorare SO5 teams always. And you are allowed to pick an extra player for the last pick after you've chosen your first 4. The way I do that now, I look at the players. Obviously, maybe Saliba plays for France. I'm not too sure, though, if he will go ahead and play. So for me, the best choice in this case is to go for Musiala, who I personally, as a German, think will do extremely well during the World Cup and should be a starter for Germany. I will, however, captain one player out of this team. Who do I think has the upside of getting the best score in this team? It will have to be Messi. You can see based on his latest scores, 100, 100. None of my players have gotten to that level. 100, 100, 84, 71. He is on fire. When he does well, when he gets goals and assists, his scores are insane. So he is going to be my captain against Saudi Arabia. That should be a very good game for him to kick off with. So I think this team can do really well, and I will confirm it for the Global Cup. This is the way you set up your free-to-play team for the Global Cup. Now, what you can win with this team is actually ridiculous. So when you look at this right here, actually, let's go on to this other page right here that you guys will probably understand more of it. This is the page where you understand what kind of rewards we have when it comes to the Global Cup. So I will zoom in on this for you to see it a little bit better than I am seeing it right now because, you know, I want you guys to be able to tell what the hell this is about. So the Global Cup, as you can see on your screen, it has weekly rewards. Every single match day, you have the opportunity of winning 100,000, up to 100,000 National Series cards. Now, these are actually cards that you are not going to be able to utilize in Sorare anywhere else. These are cards that you're going to be able to put into your club as collectibles. These are not cards that you can use to score points. That's one thing to keep in mind, but you will be able to sell them, I believe, which if they are good collectibles, if you get Messi, 1 out of 1,000, he will probably be a very good collectible that some people will pay real life money for, just like having those real life baseball cards that people pay money for. This could be a good opportunity. But then you also have the opportunity of winning 5,000 limited cards. That means you play free to play in this game and you get to go ahead and win cards that are worth actual real life money. Now that is huge. Now, when it comes to limiteds, if we look at the top end of the game and we look at a player like Kylian Mbappe, he is someone that goes for 1,178 euros right now. This, by the way, is the Sorare data page, which is the best page, honestly. If you guys are a Sorare user, this is the page to go for. It shows you anything and everything you need, which I will explain to you a little bit later in this video as well. But you can tell that Kylian Mbappe is a player that a lot of people want, even as a limited player, which is the lowest scarcity when it comes to pay to play. And he costs up to 1,178 euros. Now, obviously, I don't want you to go into it thinking that everyone is going to win it, Kylian Mbappe. Probably and possibly only the top position will be given a player like this. So keep that in mind. But There are plenty of players out there that are not Kylian Mbappe that are still worth a decent amount of money. And the most important thing, it is fun. That's the most important thing when it comes to Sorare. It is so much fun to play this game that at the end of it, you might not even care about rewards, but more about bragging rights against your friends out there. So you can see you can win up to 6 Ethereum as well. And you are able to convert your players into common cards later on, which is a different thing. But as I said before, you can win an experience where you are in a 5-a-side game with Zinedine Zidane. You can win tickets to games, VIP tickets, and all of this is being done free to play. So let's go back into Sorare once again and look at the prize pool. Always when you are in the play section, in the upcoming one, you can click on the rewards. Now, for the Global Cup, which already around 100,000 people have jumped into, you can click the rewards and see what people are winning. First place gets 3 Ethereum. If you look at Ethereum's price right now, 3 Ethereum is a huge amount of money. Right now, Ethereum, when it comes to euros, goes 1,223 euros. So that is upwards of 3,000 euros that you can win if you beat all those 100,000 people to that first place, which is obviously an amazing thing. And you also get the Star Limited, which probably is going to be one of the best limiteds on the platform, like an Mbappe, which could result in a prize of up to 4,000 euros and maybe even more. So this is incredible stuff. And then you also have the Star Custom Series, which are the collectibles, which none of us actually know if these guys are going to be worth insane amount of money or nothing. But it's, again, not about the money. It's about being able to jump into this platform and just having fun with it. And even if you come into like the top 5,000, you still win a Star Common, a Tier 3 Limited, and a Star Custom Series item, which once again is great to see. It enables anyone that jumps into this game on a free-to-play basis to genuinely be successful with it and build somewhat of a good gallery that you never had the chance of building before on Sorare. So now is the time to jump in, free to play. You can win incredible things. And if you get your team right and your players perform, well, that is huge. Now, when it comes to players performing, though, let me explain to you how this works in total. Back on Sorare data right now, back again on Kylian Mbappe, and I will show you guys how things work out with the scoring. Now, this is a little bit complicated looking at it at first. As always, this type of stuff scares people off, but trust me, once you understand what it's about, once you get into the community and start asking people questions about the game itself, everyone is very helpful and people understand the game very quickly. So the way it goes is, if your player goes ahead and starts the game, the 5-a-side team that you have put together, if he starts the game, he starts off with a decisive score of 35. That is for all players across the board. If they're in the starting 11, 35 points are given to them. If your player is an outfield player, a defender, a midfielder, a striker, whatever he is, if he scores a goal, that is a decisive action. That means he gets his base score from 35 up to a 60. Once you have that 60, you're already in a great spot because your player can still do good work in terms of defense, in terms of possession, in terms of attack. 40 plus stats are being tracked for every single player. And if they do well, if they win a contest, big chance created, attempted assists, they will be given all-round score. That all-round score could easily take you from 60 up to 100 if you have a player like Kylian Mbappe, for example, or a midfielder that does a lot of work like a Joshua Kimmich from Bayern Munich, who's all over the place and does everything on the pitch, including defense and attacking. That will normally lead to a very good all-round score where you might not even need a decisive, like a goal or an assist, to be able to get up to 100 score. Now, getting 100 score is not as common. Let me tell you that. It's very hard to come by, and you need some of the best players on the platform to be able to pull it off. But when you pull it off, oh baby, it feels amazing. So this is how the scoring goes. Every single player starts off with 35 points. Then when you do get a goal, you go ahead and get yourself up to a 60 decisive score. When you keep on doing well, that adds up another 10. So if he gets 2 goals, instead of 60, it's 70. If he then goes ahead and gets 2 assists on top of it, his decisive score goes from 35 to 60, then to 70, then to 80, and then up to 90 because of 4 decisives. And then the all-round score can top it off to the 100, but 100 is the maximum you can get of a player in terms of SO5. Now, that is very different when it comes to defenders. Let me clear that up as well. For defenders, for example, you can have a clearance off the line, which counts as a decisive action, which will take his base score from 35 to 60 as well. And when it comes to goalkeepers, the best thing that can happen to your goalkeeper is a clean sheet, like it did happen for Muric here, for Burnley against Norwich. He managed to go ahead and keep a clean sheet over 60 minutes plus played, 90 minutes in the end, of course, and he has gotten his decisive score upgraded from a 35 to a 60, and then based on how well he was doing in terms of his goalkeeping, he got other points on top of it. 8.5 right here for 1 save, and 1 save from inside the box gets him another 2 points. Then in terms of possession, he has done quite well when it comes to passing play, it seems, and that will give him an all-round score of 11 points on top of his decisive score. So there are multiple ways of gaining points for your players depending on their positions, but the most easy way, or the easiest way to figure things out and understand the game is like goals, assists, clean sheet, clearance off the line, last man tackle. Those are the types of things, and also penalty one. Those are decisives that you need for your players to get to be able to really upgrade their scores massively. So let's go back onto the play page of Sorare and understand the scarcities on the platform and the levels you can play at. So right now, when it comes to the commons, the free-to-play side of things, we have the Global Cup. When it comes to the second tier that you can get involved with, you have limited items. So what that means is, let's say Messi, for example, he will have a maximum of 1,000 limited items released each season when it comes to Sorare. That is how the scarcity is built up. You have 1,000 limited items of him. So that is something to keep in mind. There's a lot more supply when it comes to limited items on the market, hence why they are cheaper than, for example, rare items. A rare Messi is only going to be minted up to 100 times a season. So within a 10-year span, someone like an Mbappe will only have, let's say, 1,000 rares to ever come onto the market as a maximum. So that just showcases that there are levels to this game, and they are obviously going to be more expensive. Then when you go further than that, you have super rare items, which once again, they are 10. 10 of them are only being minted for each player as a maximum each season, which again makes them a lot more expensive because they are a lot more scarce. And then the final level is the unique, which stands for itself. A player only gets 1 unique each season. Messi, for example, only gets 1 unique in this year for PSG. So that's something, once again, that you got to keep in mind. And these are the levels that you get to. So, for example, normally the way things work, the way the markets work, for example, a rare item will be, let's say, 1,000 euros. And a super rare item currently, as the market goes, will be worth 3 to 4 times more than the rare item. That's just how people base their evaluations of their players at the moment. That can obviously change, but that's just something for you to understand. Obviously, if you go ahead and win the division in rare rather than limited, your reward will be worth a lot more than what you could have won in limited. And at the same time, you're competing against much less people. So if you take a look at the limited side of things, All-Star Limited, for this Global Cup, or for the match day 1 of the World Cup, we already have 6,741 participants in here. But if you go into super rare, you only have 96 people competing. And that obviously makes a big difference. It's much harder to get into those leagues, but once you get in there, you don't have to compete against as many people, which possibly gives you a better chance of winning things. But of course, the players cost you a lot more. So that's something to keep in mind for you. So going back onto Sorare data, now that we understand how team building works, now that we understand how scoring works, you can also take a look into Sorare data in terms of scouting players and understanding your gallery and the evaluation of your players. They've just recently introduced the manager stats in a new way, and you can look into a lot of things, how you have profited or lost money. I personally have made tons of mistakes when I jumped into the platform initially. I've lost money, as we can clearly tell. But even though I've lost money on this, I am enjoying so much of Sorare every single day. So I know for a fact I'm not going to be gone tomorrow. I will make up for these losses at some point, I think. So I'm totally fine with that because I personally, as a FIFA YouTuber, get so much football knowledge out of the game right now through scouting players from Japan, through watching games in America, through watching games in Argentina. I get to utilize that knowledge in my FIFA videos, showcasing people, things all around the world. And I already made up 2-3 times of what I've already lost on Sorare due to my mistakes as a rookie jumping onto the platform. But this is one thing I can tell you guys right now. If you jump into Sorare, I would highly recommend to you, start off with comments. I personally would say start off with the comment side of things, especially during the World Cup. Play that one because you can easily win things that are worth actual money in game. So keep that in mind. Just play the comments, understand the concept of Sorare, how the five-a-side team works, how the players score, what you need to focus on, the matchups that are the best ones to go after. These are important things to understand before you buy anything. I personally jumped into Sorare and just started spending money. But spending money doesn't mean you win, clearly. So make sure you understand the game and you get the best out of the fantasy football side of things. And then if you really like it, you could deposit a little bit of money and play limiteds, because limiteds is like the natural level to go to compete with others and try and win prizes. If you feel more confident, you can go up to scarcities. I personally tend to play the rare level because in the rare competitions, in the all-star division, there's one thing that is amazing. That is, if your players get over 205 points, you get $25 worth of Ethereum into your wallet. If your players score 250 points, then you get $50 each game week into your wallet. This, in my opinion, is incredible. It is a very good way. By using lower budgets below 1,000 euros, you can easily go ahead and start farming 50 euros every single week. In my opinion, if you do it the right way, there are plenty of content creators out there like Sorare Data themselves that have gone ahead and put up threshold team building videos that can be very useful for you guys. So definitely check them out. But this is Sorare, and I can tell you guys, I love it. I think it's the best product out there when it comes to fantasy football. And I genuinely think they have positioned themselves in a way that only EA Sports have been able to do with FIFA, the football game, by getting all the licenses and building an amazing game around it. I think Sorare is doing exactly that, but not only with football, they're also doing it with the NBA and the MLB. So make sure if you do want to sign up, use the link in the description, and trust me, once you're in, you're going to love it. That's the final thing I'm going to say. I personally absolutely love it, and I hope you guys have a ton of fun with the Global Cup. And one last thing I would like to say to you is, if you do sign up, get a few of your friends involved as well. You can create your own private league where you can play against your friends in a private league, and whoever wins has the best bragging rights. But you also, if you create a league with more than 6 players in it, you are put into a raffle where you can go ahead and win signed jerseys and all those things. So make sure to just get involved on the free-to-play side of things and just get the best out of the game, because I don't think there's ever been a better time to sign up for Sorare. Now's the time. Have fun. Use the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Have a great day. Take care and peace.